Hey everyone, Gio here. Please hit the subscribe button for me and please hit the like button. I'm really trying to get up to 50 subscribers as soon as I can, just so I can start making live videos, make it a little bit easier. But I hope everyone's having a great day, the best blessed day that they could have. I myself had a really good day today. I had my probation officer came by the apartment this morning, 8 a.m. It was nice to have him come by. My apartment's nice and clean, and to have him be able to just show up, randomly and be able to see how well I keep everything and stuff. It was a nice feeling, and I wasn't expecting him at all because I had an appointment today at 9 o'clock. And I had to do a screen yesterday, so, it was nothing I was possibly expecting, for him to be here. So he got to, just randomly show up and see, how nice keep my apartment and everything. So it was kind of a cool feeling to be able to have that. But today I just want to talk a little bit, about the commitment, that you got to put in, as far as the sobriety and to be on this new journey now and this new path that I'm on, to live this new sober life, and living in the light of God, how much work that it actually is, because it is, some work that you do got to put in. So basically for the past 3 months, I just advanced to level 2 in treatment court, which means now instead of going once every week for treatment court, now I have to go once every 2 weeks. And then for probation, instead of going once every week, I get to go once every 2 weeks. And I also advanced to my continued recovery in Beacon Center. So I'm out of early recovery. So now instead of going to 3 groups a week and one-on-one a week, now I just have to do 2 groups a week and then the one-on-one a week. So, but prior to this week, prior to like the past 2 weeks now, for the last three months, going on 4 months, I had 38 appointments, 38 scheduled things that I had to do every month. Now it drops 10 of them off a month, so now I'm down to 28 between treatment court, probation, Beacon Center, and my care management. So, but 38 things I've had to do each month for the last 3 months. And I haven't been late to a single one of them, and it really didn't seem hard at all to attend those. So now, and I did this without a vehicle, and but with taking like a Medicaid cab, or else taking a bus. When I didn't live down this way and I was staying in Little Falls, that was how I got around a little bit. Or else possibly caught a ride here and there. But those were the ways that I got around. So it wasn't necessarily easy. And then on top of all that, I made every dentist appointment. I got a primary care physician, attended all those appointments, had a yearly physical, got x-rays done, blood work done, so a lot of things, so I've had appointments pretty frequently, and I haven't missed a single one, and it really didn't seem that hard, because at this point, the whole thing is that, like, I've heard that, with treatment court and stuff, that you got to jump through hoops, and, and how hard it is, and, they expect this. Well, the thing is that if you want to do it, and if you truly want to be, in this position that I'm in now, it's really, it's not going to be hoops that you're jumping through. You're just going to do the things that you have to do because you know that you have to do them, and you know that it is continuing, your progress, and it's helping you get to where that you want to be. So for me, the past 3 months really hadn't been a problem, and to now move up, to where I have to go less, like, it seems kind of like wow, it kind of feels like that it's easier, now it's kind of too easy now, now that I don't have all those other appointments. Now I got to find other things to do with my time and everything. So that's where now I'm starting really hard with trying to get to work out. I want to lose a little bit of weight, and I want to get myself healthy, so I'm really trying to watch what I eat now, and I'm really trying to start making meals now and start doing these other things, that kind of normal people do, that you lose, when you're living a life of addiction, because you don't do any of these things. Like, I hadn't made an appointment in probably 5 years. I hadn't made one single appointment. I hadn't paid a bill before this year, and gosh, I can't even remember last time I paid a bill, like, you just get by, and you don't do any of the things that you're supposed to do in life, and you just, you're nowhere near a productive member of society, and you're nowhere near productive, and that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good just to be worried about where you're going to stay, be worried about, are you going to have food today? Are you going to have drugs today? Which is always the most important thing. But and that's the number one worry. Food is a complete second thing. Unless you don't have drugs, then you kind of want food. So then it sucks when you don't have that. But, and then cigarettes and you're just focused on all these things that just don't even matter, and that they get you nowhere and, and accomplish nothing as far as your life. I had fun times, and, and I got enjoyment out of certain days and stuff. But overall, what do I have for that? What do I have to show for that enjoyment? Like you have like this high moment of, like ecstasy or whatever, these high moments where you feel good, where like the drug hits in and you feel good, and, and you have like these feelings, but afterwards you don't feel good, and, overall your life isn't good, and there's just nothing good that comes of it, if that makes any sense at all. So, but it is hard when you're caught right in it, because it just feels like that's all that you have, that's the only thing that I have is to get high, and there's nothing else. My life has no other purpose, so I might as well at least get high, because that takes away the feelings of no purpose. It takes away all those feelings of inadequacy, that I'm not living, that I'm not being a decent person, that I'm not seeing my kids, that I'm not talking to my family, that I'm not working, that I'm not paying bills, that I'm not doing any of the things that that you have to do in life. Like, you have to do these things. Like, it's not sustainable to not have a job. It's not sustainable to to live off the system, or to do like it's just not a way to live, and I did it for so long. And, so I know exactly what that all feels like. I know exactly what it is to make all these excuses on, why that, like for me, for the longest time, I just thought that, like, okay, I'm enjoying my life now because I, while I can enjoy it, because I'm not going to be young forever, and so now I might as well enjoy it, and, like, so I'm going to try to just live to the fullest. I'm going to try to make every day be the best day of my life. I used to truly say that. Like, I'm going to try to make every day be the best day of my life. So, like, but for me, what does the best day of my life mean at that moment? To get as high as I can possibly get, and, party and hang around with people who really like me, don't like me, or, they're going to steal from me if I drop something, or if I fall asleep, they're going to steal from me. Like that was what I really thought was, like, living my life to the fullest, and having nothing to show for nothing, and having, my family not around me, and having nobody that truly cares for me, and having nobody that I truly care about, or nothing that I truly care about, having no possessions that matter to me, because I'm going to lose them at any minute, being scared of going to jail at any minute, for any slew of things that I've done, or else any slew of things I'm going to do on that day, getting caught and possibly going to jail. So, like, that's why Christmas this year was so nice and so important, that I, like, to buy all these presents ahead of time and know, okay, I'm going to be there, I know I'm going to be there. Like, there's no way I'm going to jail. There's no way I'm going to do anything wrong that's going to put me in jail, and I have everything taken care of, as far as, like, all my charges and everything that I've built up and, let accrue over all this time. I have them all. I'm working on all those things, and giving all those things attention, so I know that nothing's going to come up and jump up at me and surprise me, as far as any of those things, and how far as any of those go. So I'm handling everything the way that I have to, and I'm being responsible, and I'm doing all these appointments, and I'm doing everything that I have to do in order to be successful. So those are the things that you have to do. You have to put in the work. So 38 appointments a week, between doing screens, between doing all my groups, between doing all those things, and doing them all, with bells on, so to say. Like, I'm happy to do them. Every day I walk into Beacon Center, I talk to the lady, and, and I truly like her. Like, she's a very nice lady. And when I go to probation, I have a nice conversation with my probation officer, and I'm actually, like, glad to see him. I tell everyone goodbye when I leave. Like I'm doing all these things, and, like, I'm happy to be doing them. Like, I truly, truly am happy to be doing them, and I'm happy to have this opportunity. So I think so many people don't look at it as an opportunity, and they look at it as a burden, because they're not ready. They don't want to. They still want to be in the life. They still want to live that life. They don't see they just don't, they're not ready to say that their life is that, but you know, they just, for whatever reason, they can't give it up. You know, and it is a hard thing to give up. I tried giving it up, you know, I've been dealing with this for 20 plus years, you know, so everybody's wired differently, and everyone's had whatever trauma that they've had when they were younger or throughout their life that have caused them these things to build up. And then, you know, in your brain and everything, once you do these substances and you do experience these times of, you know, true like freedom and true ecstasy and true like feeling like that you're on top of the world, feeling like you can do anything, accomplish anything, you know, feeling like I'm the best that I can be, like those are the feelings that I would get, you know, but those feelings don't last, they're not sustainable. So I would get those feelings, you know, here and there, and then the other times, you know, I'm sick on the ground, you know, thinking like, what can I possibly do to get $20 so I can get a bag, and thinking like, you know, I'm so hungry, like I wish I had something to eat, I wish I had a cigarette, like just thinking that, and just laying there for days, wanting to just sleep because I know that there's nothing I can possibly do to feel better. So I just want to sleep, like, because there's no reason to be awake, and life is so bad, and I hate everything so much that I don't even want to be awake. So just try to take a bunch of trazodone or something so I can just try to sleep the day away to get through to the next day, where maybe something will happen that makes it better. Like, I know all these feelings, and I've been there for all of that. But, you know, but the way that I am now, you know, I go to work, you know, I work, you know, and then on top of all those appointments, the 38 appointments, and doing the doctor and the dentist and all that, you know, I get my hair cut once every 3 weeks. I go to work, you know, 50 plus hours a week, and I do that, and it all feels good to do. You know, I feel accomplished, and I feel like I'm moving forward in life. I'm progressing, and now I'm trying to make these videos, and, you know, so everything comes along, you know, and I feel like it's amazing. You know, I have my 75-inch TV that I can watch when I get home from work, and, you know, I have my electric bike that I ride home from work, you know, my $800 electric bike that I bought that I ride home from work, and, you know, these are all things that I could never have before, because the second that I don't have drugs, or the second I don't have something, if I did have something like this, I would have to sell it in order to get something, because the drugs matter more than anything else. And so I know that feeling, and I understand all that, and I understand what it is to be lost, and I understand what it is to just want to be high more than anything in the world, and that's all that you can think about, and that's all that you care about, and that's all that the feeling is, oh my God, I need to get something, I need to get something, and then when you get it, it doesn't even feel good that you got it. Like, I understand all those feelings, and I get all that, and then you never have enough, and you just always need more, and like, so that's why everything, you know, this year has been so special and everything, but it took a lot of work, you know. It started out with me when I, you know, made that call to go to rehab. Like, it was a hard call to make, you know, to make that, but at the time that I made it, I was fighting with my girlfriend, I was sick, I kind of did it out of spite for her, you know. I made the call, and I set up, you know, for them to come get me. I had in the back of my mind that I told my daughter I was going to do this. So, but I told her that at New Year's I was going to go, you know. My whole plan was I want to go the next day, but, you know, here it is, beginning of March, and I haven't went yet. But March 1st, you know, they say, okay, we'll pick you up on March 1st, wait till you run, you know, all the way in Pennsylvania. And up till then, you know, the days prior to that weren't very good days. But that morning of that day, you know, we actually got some substances, and, you know, I got my drug of choice, and I got the other drug that I need to function. And now all of a sudden the cab's there, you know. I'm just getting home from running and getting all these things because I wanted to have like one last time before I went. And I didn't get to have the time because I get home and now the cab's there. You know, it took a lot longer to accomplish what we needed to accomplish to get them. So I'm home and the cab's there. Like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? You know, but I got in the cab. I got in the cab, and I went. And so now, and then when I get there, you know, to be able to go there. And when I got there, you know, at first it was terrible. It was horrible. I was sick. I didn't feel good. I felt so uncomfortable there. I didn't want to be there at all. Everything was just, you know, terrible. But then as I started to feel better, you know, everything started coming out of my system a little bit and stuff. You know, I started to think about, you know, my life and where all my priorities were, and what I was feeling like, and, you know, thinking about the fact that, you know, what I felt was important in my life, and I'm putting all this attention into trying to impress all these people that truly, you know, none of them, like, I know that people care about me and people in this life, like, but I understand the life, like, it's not that they aren't true people or that they care, but they have their priorities, they have their drugs to get, they have all these things, so there can't be a focus to care about someone else. You can't truly care about someone else if you're totally in the life of addiction. You can't truly care about someone else, because that's going to come first, and that's going to trump everything, always, at all times. So it's not that somebody doesn't care about me, but they have their own worries and their own things to worry about. So no one's going to ever be able to show me the care and love that I deserve, you know, is how I should put that. But I started to realize that, you know, and that how long it's been since I've seen my daughter, and how long it's been since I've done any of these things, you know. And then I said in my mind, you know, that I'm want to do this now. Now I want to do this, and now I start getting more comfortable. I start talking and stuff while I'm there, you know, start talking in groups and stuff, and just start, like, saying, like, you know, it's crazy, all this stuff that I've been thinking is cool, trying to be cool to everyone, trying to be Geo, trying to be a cool guy, you know, trying to give everyone everything to everyone, and trying to make everyone like me. For what? You know, for what? Why am I doing all this? You know, why is my focus all this and stuff? And instead of focusing on, you know, the things that matter, you know, my daughters, and, you know, who I love more than anything. It's not that I don't love them. It's not that I don't love them as much as I ever did when I was with them, you know, and showing them all the love and doing all the things their father's supposed to do. It's not like that love stopped for them. It's just that I got sidetracked, you know. I got off track, and I couldn't get back. I couldn't get back on track. I just couldn't do it. You know, my brain, everything in my brain changed, and now all of a sudden, you know, my thoughts are that this is what's important, that this matters more than anything else, and that I'll do anything to get this. You know, this is what my brain is telling me, and I can't change it, you know, though no matter how bad I wanted to, I couldn't change that, you know. That took priority over everything. I'll do whatever I have to do just to get this, because I want this more than anything, you know. I want to be high more than anything. I can't be in my head. I can't be here. I want to be high, so I don't care that I'm staying on someone's house, or I'm living in an apartment with cockroaches. I don't care that all these things are so bad that I don't care about them, because I'm high, and it just feels good to be high. So I don't even care that my life is so bad that I don't talk to my family, that I have no interaction with my kids, that know that I'm doing nothing good for the world, that I'm not doing anything to positive for the world, you know, for the universe. I'm not doing anything to possibly do anything, you know. And thank God that I'm still here, and that I still have this opportunity to correct this, and I still can make a mark and make a difference in the world, and I still can do some of these things, because so many other people are gone and they can't, you know. And it really does break my heart that, you know, that they're just gone, and they'll never get a chance for people to understand that they were sick, and that they, you know, it wasn't necessarily their fault. Like, they were, you know, they just, their brain chemistry changed, you know, when they tried this drug, whatever, it changed them, and it made them, you know, that's what their focus was, that's what their priority. It's not like logical, you know what I mean? It's not logical to be willing to go walk into a store and walk out with a cart full of stuff, or to be able to go, like I'd walk into a store, and like the people be standing at the door, and I would say sorry and walk out with a basket full of stuff, just because I don't care, as long as they don't grab me. As long as I get out that door, it don't even matter. I'm on camera, none of that matters, just as long as I get to go get this fix that I need. Like that's what it became, and that's what it becomes, you know, for anyone that's just getting into it and everything. That's what it becomes. It really does take over like that, and it's truly, like, amazing how much that it takes over, and how much it just controls your entire life and takes you away. Especially when you start getting into, like, the heroines and the fentanyls and all that. Like, you can't live without it. Like, you can't function without it. Like, you have to have it. And it changes your brain to where your brain has to have it and will do anything for it. And you're no longer, like, a logical thinker. You're no longer thinking normally. You know, you're no longer thinking about, like, anyone else in the world. Like, you're selfish, and you just want, you know, that, and, like, you just don't even care about anything else except for being high, and, like, you don't even care. Like, okay, so, like, one of the big things that's, like, crazy to think about is, like, okay, so you hear someone overdoses, you hear someone dies, like, okay, people would be like, where did they get that drug from? Where did they get that from? Because they want that stuff that this person died from. You want to get that because that stuff is strong, And you want, even though they died and like it could possibly kill you too, you still want that stuff because you want that feeling and you want that high, and that's what matters. That's how sick that people can get, and people don't necessarily, that haven't done it and that don't understand it. Like, it really does consume you, completely consumes you and takes over, and it's really, really hard to get out, like really, really hard. So, so I had to do all that and put in all that work, and then, so I went to rehab, and I kind of like converted, and, and I started reading the Bible, and I started realizing, a lot of things, and feeling God's presence a lot in my life and everything, and like looking back, and I felt His presence for quite some time. I knew that He was guiding me to something, and but while I was in rehab, I decided, like, okay, it's in God's hands, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and it's what's meant to be. So that was kind of how I started to look at everything. So, but then I got out of rehab, and, and I was gung-ho on staying clean. I was gung-ho that I was going to do it. And, but like right away, like some things fell through and stuff. And now all of a sudden I'm back in Herkimer. And, first thing, then, like I called my family and stuff to see if they were available. Cause like, I thought I had a place to go stay. I thought they were going to put me up in the Annie house, but all of a sudden they're like, well, try to go get a voucher for a hotel. Okay, so I don't know if I can walk along the streets in Herkimer because I know I have warrants, I know cops are after me, so I really can't walk around town. And so I try to call my parents to see if they'll bring me, and they're not available, which I understand, you know what I mean? I haven't been in their life for a long time. Like, why are they going to jump for me at this point? Like, it makes no sense for them to do that. And I wasn't expecting it from them, but I did try to call because I wanted to stay on this path, but then I ended up calling someone, a friend, pick me up. So immediately, first thing, within probably 30 seconds, I get in the car. I'm like, do you have anything? Like, it was crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then, but then it kind of came to a head. I had like 2 straight days where I was kind of partying and everything, and then it kind of came to a head. And all of a sudden, like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I can't believe that I'm back to where I'm at again. I can't believe this is happening. I know that it's completely gone. Everything I just felt and stuff at rehab is completely gone. So I knew I had to do something. And so, like, I prayed to God, to get me out of this situation because I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to possibly do at this point. And, and then thankfully the car that I was in got pulled over. And, whereas normally I would run, I would give a fake name, I would do everything I possibly could do to get out of it. I immediately gave my name. I said I have a warrant, and then I said I want to go to jail. And they're like, what, you want to go to jail? And I said, yes, I want to go to jail. I said, there's nothing for me out here. I need to go to jail. And then the guy, the cop made a call, and he said, this guy wants to go to jail. And so they arranged it, and that's where I went. And then, and then while I was there, I went to my court. I had like so many charges in Herkimer County. So like 4 different courts I had charges out of, and you're talking like 30-something misdemeanors, like no felonies, thankfully, but like 30-something misdemeanors. Like, it was really, really bad, like a lot of stuff. And they just said, how about 6 months for everything? And I'd already been in there for like a month and a half, almost 2 months at this point. And I said, 6 months they get to 6 months, you're going to do 4 months on that. So I got to do 2 more months, then I'm going to get out and I'll be scot-free, But, and then I said, that's and at this point, I'm reading the Bible, I'm having all these feelings of God. I'm really, really, really vested in God at this point. So I said, Your Honor, I said, it's a really great offer. I don't want to be disrespectful at all. I said, but is there anything I could possibly do that would be more, help me with treatment and stuff? Because I really, really want to get better at all costs. And, I feel like I need to be accountable to someone. And then that's when the DA said, well, what about treatment court? And I said, yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you so much, and then it took some time to get into and everything. But so I took that, and then by the time I would have gotten released, I was in for 83 days, I think it was. So, so instead of like a little bit over a month in jail, I took a year treatment court and 3 years probation, which is something I would never do in the past, but it's because I truly wanted to get better, and I knew I had to put in all the work to get better, and I knew that I needed every opportunity I could have, to make this happen. So I made that decision, and I've done everything, and been putting in all the work, and, the result is that, I just had the best Christmas that I could have since, I could have possibly dreamt of having. Like, it was so nice, and it was so nice to and it felt like I belonged there. It really, really did. It felt like that it was supposed to be that way, you know, and like I couldn't imagine like this just a little while ago, you know, like even when I got out, you know, it was tough for a while. I couldn't get a job for a couple months, and I didn't even start treatment court for like 2 months after I got out of jail, because how I got out and everything. Like, I didn't even start treatment court for like 2 months, but I stayed clean the entire time, and I did everything I had to do. But, so my phone's ringing now, but I'll cut the video short now. But I love everyone. Remember that it's nice to be important, but it's really important to be nice. So try to keep that in mind at all times. But that's a bit of my story and how I got here and everything and how I feel. So, and, you know, my thoughts about, you know, being, you know, caught up in the life of addiction and everything. But I have so much more to share and everything. So, but please hit the subscribe button for me if you watch the video this long. I appreciate you so much, and I thank you so much for watching and any of your support. I appreciate it more than you can ever know. And I thank you all, and I love you all, and I hope everyone has the best blessed day. And remember, it's important to be nice, but it's really nice to be, it's nice to be important, but it's really important to be nice. All right, thank you. I love you all. Bye.